Hello, hello. Another day, another video. Getting a little crazy on these. Probably should stop. Welcome to Tyler Talks, where I talk. Probably too much during the week right now. But when I say the meta is more open, in my opinion, than it ever has been, um, I do mean it. I think it is wide open. I was on Threshing Floor last night, and we were just talking communities, initial opinions and perspectives on IR and just kind of where we're at in the game. Um, and just a lot of positives, then some that were just not necessarily negatives, but trying to understand IR and looking at IR from a this isn't as strong as we want or as we thought. So just talking to that, so that episode should be very interesting. Had a lot of fun on there. I always do. But I keep saying that it's not just like people are looking at IR just one set instead of looking at it as if it's opening the meta. Um, like when you look at this deck, this looks all sorts of craziness. Um, this is in my opinion, like a prototype. Uh, I think stronger builds can be built off of this, but this is an idea. I feel like Brad and Chad are both gonna like decks that look kind of like this, where especially Chad, where it's full value, um, high consistency is very big. I do think the Sabbath Breakers can come out for Saul, two Emperors, and Daenerys, and two Bears comes in. I honestly meant to do that prior to because my reserve access was so bad and evil that I wanted to bring in a better reserve access because I want unsuccessful, which I can just bring in unsuccessful. Um, that should probably happen instead of maybe scattered sheep, but that's okay. So either way, the deck can get better. Um, Only 6 heroes and then two duels, so we're looking at 8 heroes. Not bad. I usually play more. This started as 4 heroes, and then I went from there. Um, Reverence and all goes to pretty much everything here. Can be looked at as a hero almost. Uh, if I open up with Land of Moab, then I just got to draw 3. Land of Moab grabs Moab. Moab grabs a Moabite, which is King Balak. King Balak grabs Balaam. So very good. Um, let's see. David's Descendant is good in this deck. Virgin Birth, of course, is awesome. Love Righteousness can be grabbed by David's Harp. Same with Covenant with David. And Book of the Covenant works with Aaron. I want to add another hero. I'm not sure if increasing numbers is correct here or not, but we're just playing around. So I won't go too much into it because there's so many pieces. This whole deck is pointing at itself. We went heavy covenants to where we now have covenants that are battle winners. So we want to use Book of the Covenant that can grab our battle winners, which is really nice, especially with all these different colors. And we want to have ways like I like Word of Christ right now to go up against curses. I did have the white, gray. I think it's Orpa Departs. Naomi's Blessing, maybe Naomi's Blessing. That hit and negate and discard evil enhancement or curse. I was just having a tough time getting that out. Storehouse was a little too slow for me in this specific build. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to go. So I'm just going to go straight into it. Try to keep a quicker deck today, or quicker video. So as I said, every card feels like it points to 3 other cards. So we're going to go ahead and get our draw 3. We only have a few star cards in here, so we know we didn't get them. We can just quickly move on. We can reserve a card from hand to get a wilderness out. We do want to do that. It's probably going to have to be You Will Be Well, and we'll reserve that and go to Mo, unless I had Wilderness of Sinai. Was that David's tent or Wilderness of Sinai? Oh well. Yeah, it's Wilderness of Sinai. So then I can put Wilderness of Sinai in play, take a Exodus hero, I'll take Pharaoh's daughter, and that will allow me a Zion, and that will allow me Moses. I then play Zion since I have royalty as my unity. I have human heroes royalty. And now I can go to a hero from deck. And I can play one TC, and I can go to another hero from deck. I mean, there's a few things we can do here. Like, do we go to King Saul? We can go David to Jehoshaphat, and then go to Moses to Aaron. We can go to Zadok to where it can go Aaron or Moses to Aaron to Zadok to David. Really, it's just a matter of getting ready for the piece next turn. Yeah, there's a few. You have to know what you're going to get, but there's a lot of pieces I can get here. I think Jehoshaphat's fine. So now we're good. And we can go, if we want, we can shove all our heroes out there. We can bounce our daughter if we want to. I don't think we need to. I would keep it for the CBP. And then Aaron can grab Book of the Covenant. And then Moses can grab increasing numbers, just so we have that big negate turn one. It's not really grabbing us a lot in this deck, so that's why I do think it should be all gray in this build. And Sabbath Breakers come out for the Saul and the Emperors, and the Pilot. Just good gray stuff. Because I feel like a 2 bears is better there. I went back and forth on Zadok. So, excuse me. If this Zadok is the new one, then I negate enhancement to draw 2. And guess what? My Exodus characters of matching alignment and Exodus enhancements used by them cannot be prevented. So I can play with that. I can do Moses to Aaron to Zadok. And we'll do that. I have a build that I'll show you. But as of right now, we're not doing it. So I could play increasing numbers. I don't have any other wilderness heroes in here. Can do a quick search. Just make sure. Boo, 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 boo. And then we're good to go there. I would have put Distressed in Zion. Of course, you use Covet as well, but no rush. So yeah, I'll show you the Pharaoh's daughter Moses Zadok build. I will debut that maybe next week. It is very good. Moses is constantly getting out Exodus enhancements. Zadok's negating everything, and you are preventing enhancements, but all your enhancements work. And you get to draw 2 every turn, and you get the Moses snag. It is very, very good. So that's another one where I said I was hinting at the wilderness and the clay, the white clay mixes. So I will show you that later. I'll put Balaam down. Chances are I get the draw 2 if the opponent searches. And then for my first turn, or my first block, I would probably just go 1, 2, 3, 2. Now I don't need Egypt, as I have Wilderness of Sinai and Pharaoh's daughter out, so I can discard Egypt for prosperity and just play the martyr. Assuming they even have one hero in battle, I have no clue. Draw 3. From an upkeep perspective, there's nothing. And we can put our Distressed in Zion. We're going to want to use our Wanderer. And we can put down Moab, which goes to King Balak. We could put Nashon in here to grab a Ruth hero. We're just not. We don't have that in this build. So if anything, we're just putting Land of Moab down to whatever lost soul we took from them, whether it was Covet or Wanderer. Keep it in a site. It's also nice having Zion and Land of Moab out early. It could be used as a stall. Turn over book. Go to my reserve. I like to go Cov Prayer and banish for Colosseum, as I'm worried about scattered against this build. And then I'm almost wanting to, let's see, like I have my female for Virgin Birth, which is really, really good. So I think I go and snag. The only thing is I'm missing Zadok, because I want to go to Jeremiah. Like I want to have, ideally it would be King Saul, David to Joshua, to Jehoshaphat, to a musician or a priest, so it doesn't matter, either or. Aaron to Moses, and then I want to get, like if I don't have Jeremiah, like I need Jehoshaphat and Jeremiah to have the whole band, I believe. Unless I leave this portion out and it goes. Yeah, it's still tough. I'm missing Zadok. I need Zadok and Jehoshaphat to do the entire band. Either way, I do want one of my heroes. So it's just a matter of which one. I think Jeremiah is the better grab here. As I have a toss and an angel. So then I would attack with King Saul, draw one, go to David. David would go to Joshua. Joshua would go to Jehoshaphat. I bounce my Balaam. I don't want them banding to my Balaam and using them. And then I go to Jeremiah, I get the hand look. I know I can toss the next, and they can't play CBN, and I have Chronicles, Woes, and Angel Lord. So I make them toss the first, and then Angel. And then I put Balaam back down. Their turn, if they play an enhancement, I always, outside of battle, I get to draw two. I'm protecting Lost Souls right now through Balak. You got to make sure that Joshua's in here because Babel kills me. So Joshua's good for that. I go straight to an Evil Dominant. I have good blocks in my hand. I don't need to just rush to a Mayhem. It's really good, though, if I can go Mayhem turn 1 after dropping all my cards and getting like a +4. I like doing that as well. And then I don't really have too much off this Balaam. So I could let him die because Lost Souls are protected. And I'd be okay with that. I could protect X. From an upkeep perspective, nothing. And I could put down and then go to Mayhem. I don't really feel I have to do that. Like I could put down Breaker. I could play Son of God. That's scary because I already used my Covenant of Prayer with this guy lurking, so I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to net anything, but I am trying to get into. I only have 14 cards left in deck. I'd go back to 20. I'm just trying to get my Zadok. I could go Book of the Covenant here and get either You Will Remain or a Battle Winner. And then I can still do my attack of King Saul, draw one to David. David can go to Mighty Men. And once again, I mean, I'm missing Zadok. So I can bounce. I would have got, Joshua to Jehoshaphat. And then I can go either these two and grab something from deck, which I don't really think I need, and go right back to the toss. I have Colosseum, Toss, Chronicles. I feel like that's enough. And then same from a, I can put down David's tent. And Zadok is second Samuel. So I couldn't get him there, just making sure there's nothing. And I'm glad I shuffled. Um, that's about it. Like from a block perspective, I have woes I can band, and I have some battle winners with mayhem. Um, and then David's descendant would get me Jehoshaphat for sure. So I'll run through it one more time. Covet's always nice. So from here, this is kind of tough because I don't, unless I'm taking their lost soul, that somehow gets me to an evil character from their deck. If put in play by opponent, so yeah, that wouldn't even put in play by opponent. So yeah, Covet's obviously great. I'm just not going to be able to get much value from their deck. I'm just going to take their Distressed or whatever. I can still get out heroes, of course, and I can get out a Covenant from my deck. So I can go, I just lose the Zion, which that stinks. But I go Aaron down, Book can go to deck, which reveal to owner, and I can go straight to Covenant with David. I can activate Covenant with David to take a king from deck, and I can take Jehoshaphat, and then I can attack with Jehoshaphat and bounce my Aaron, and then I lose the battle though, and then that would just give me a Zion. So I can go Love Righteousness and go to Pharaoh's daughter, to Moses, and then I at least have a 2-hero band to an increasing numbers, or at least have a negate off of a large number band. I wanted to put down Zion and put the Lost Soul in it, but I wasn't sure if I could get Unity with Zion. So, oh well, darn, I'm going to have to block. Sabbath Breaker, 1, 2, 3. If I want, I can do Aimless and reserve a card to get out a Wilderness. And there's no reason I wouldn't do that because of Zion. I can't really use it at this point. So I would get out probably this guy. Go to Sabbath Breaker, and then if Stricken doesn't work, Christian Martyr. Upkeep, I do get to draw one, as I have Book. And then it's a matter of, do I want to play Virgin Birth or Reverence and Awe? And if I look at who do I need, I'll go King Saul. I need David. And I have Jehoshaphat, Zadok, Aaron. So I need David and whatchamacallit. Well, I'm not putting all of them down. Sorry, I'm just showing. I need David and whatever his name is, Jeremiah. So I would go Virgin Birth to Jeremiah. And then that's discarded. And then my Covenant with David, if you do not control a king, you may take a king from deck. So now I can get my David. And then I played my 1 TCE. I'm good there. And then my attack. Now remember, Joshua goes to territory or hand, so it doesn't really matter. So I could just attack from hand. I don't think I shuffled. Draw 1, go to David. David goes to Joshua. Joshua underdecks. Jehoshaphat bounces. Really whatever I need to. If it's your stuff or not, if you have a territory class guy out. And then Jehoshaphat can ban to a priest. to Moses, I can grab You Will Be Well, and then he can, oops, did that the wrong way, and then go to Zadok. Zadok can ban to an OT Green Prophet. Big old ban. So I get the draw card. I get some value off of Joshua. I get a card with Moses. I don't really get anything with Aaron. I'm not using Zadok for the activate from reserve. And then I get a hand look and a toss. Hard to get around. I do have You Will Be Well. Oh, I never used Book of the Covenant to get Cove Prayer to get Colosseum. I was like, why does that still feel vulnerable to me? So just talking. Just know what you're doing before you're doing it, right? And now I can go to Land of Moab, and that's a +3, right? Moab goes to Balak. Balak goes to Balaam. So grabbing Moab was a +3, which is very nice. If I'm afraid of Matthew, I can discard Reverence and Awe here. It's really just whatever. I feel like I have a good block with either Balaam or Sabbath Breaker. So, and I can go 2 Sabbath Breaker just to draw 2, but potential protection. 2, 3. I feel like I have enough. Yeah, I have all my heroes. I really don't need Reverence and Awe, so I can discard it for Prosperity. They would have to get around and prevent enhancements. That's more than likely protected. And I would still have Woes and Chronicles. So not a terrible block. After that, so we got the Book of the Covenant upkeep. And we have all sorts of stuff from a searching and triggers perspective. Egypt. Yeah, David's tent is not an Egypt target. That's already out. Wilderness of Sinai. No other targets there. I'll put out Throne of David for next turn. Book of the Covenant can go to a Covenant. I could activate David's Harp on David and get Royal Parade, unless they're playing curses. I do want more board oppression. Like I do want to negate neutrals or something in here. It'll be interesting to see Moses Cloud as well. Especially when you can get plagues to work off Cloud Moses and Moses' staff and all that. So once again, there's a ton of builds right now. I can do the same attack. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I can go King Saul to David. David can go to Mighty Men if I want. I don't think I want to. I think I'd rather just keep the Joshua. Keep the Joshua, go to Jehoshaphat, bounce my Balaam. Moses, nothing. Aaron, nothing. Zadok, nothing. To Jeremiah, toss the next with Colosseum up. Pretty darn good. If I had to play Chronicles, I would. Same with Angel. And I have the big 2. So pretty good. Insanely consistent and fun to play. I do think the defense should change to what I said with Saul and Emperor and Denarius. I like Unsuccessful and Pontius Pilate. I still like having Roman destroys Jerusalem in the reserve too, because that does nothing to me, and you're still going to see GOC. So you just got to know if you're playing Colosseum or not. I like Colosseum up, as you don't, like the only CBN I have in here is Scattered Sheep, which really works well because, yes, I have quote-unquote 10 heroes, but I can just pop them down and do so much that Scattered Sheep usually doesn't hurt me, and I can just underdeck a hero from you. So if I have Colosseum out, Jeremiah out, all your CBNs tossed. So usually the opponent just plays their CBN first because it's tossed either way. And then usually I just have more resources than them. Moses grabbing You Will Be Well, increasing numbers, and then I can David's Harp to grab Royal Parade, and then Book of the Covenant can grab 3 negate and or 2 negate and discards, and 1 negate that can go back to my hand, and Word of Christ. So I'm a little reliant on the reserve, but I also just have a big band. So, yeah, pretty cool. I definitely think people can take this and run with it and kind of mix and match. Maybe you don't need Moses, or maybe you want a different Moses in here entirely. And I'll show you all the different Moses builds, and I will do the clay white. Moses grabs Exodus enhancements and plays them through Zadok to negate enhancements and draw 2. That deck's insane. So don't fret about Israel's rebellion not being as strong just because people aren't building decks yet. It's still very, very strong. And the amount that you get to do with it. When all my stuff works because of Pharaoh's daughter, and all your stuff doesn't work, and guess what? I get to go grab exactly whatever I need. That's really good. So I'll see what builds I can keep pushing out there. I know I designed the set, play tested it. Like, yes, team effort for sure. It's just I was heavily involved, so I want to give as much knowledge as I can to the community, especially because tournaments are starting up with online stuff. There's more online playing. Lackey Grand Prix starts September 3rd. So I assume Lackey Grand Prix is going to be people testing IR and just having fun. And then a couple like, oh, I signed up. I don't have a deck. I'm just going to use my old one from Nats. So that's how I see it. But there you can test and still have a very competitive build. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I'll post this. I have the screenshot ready to go. I'll post it on Discord and share the link. So thanks, y'all.